If you're up for an exciting challenge, try the Blackburn shilling gambit. But wait, there's more. I've got an intriguing chess puzzle waiting for all of you. Be sure to stick around until the end to enjoy the complete experience. Begin with e4 as white, e5 as black, and the game unfolds. White may attack your pawn with knight to f3, and you respond with knight to c6. White might then play bishop to c4, a common move aiming at the vulnerable f7 pawn. Now, to engage in the Blackburn shilling gambit, play the tricky move knight to d4, tempting white to capture the seemingly free pawn. If white takes the bait, you've got them. They'll likely capture the pawn, but that sets the trap. You play the strong move queen to g5. White, thinking they've forked your queen and the trapped rook on h8, will probably capture on f7 with their knight, falling into the trap. You then play the crushing move queen takes g2, putting white in a tough spot. Now, let's explore the possible responses from white. If white attempts to defend the rook by moving it to the f1 square, you capitalize on this by capturing the pawn on e4 with a check. If white chooses to block the check with the queen, they'll end up losing the queen. This exchange leaves white down in material by a total of 9 points, setting up an advantageous position for black, and a likely win. Let's revisit a few moves. Thus, white might make the mistake of blocking the check with the bishop. However, this move leads to a swift defeat through knight to f3, resulting in a smothered mate. Let's revisit a few moves and explore what happens if white captures the black rook instead of defending their own. In this scenario, if white plays knight takes rook, you can counter by capturing their rook with a check. The king can then move to a safe square, and white is forced to block the check with their bishop. Subsequently, capturing the pawn on e4 with a check puts white in a disadvantageous position. If white attempts to block the check with their queen, they will suffer significant material loss, ultimately resulting in a rapid defeat. Here, playing d6 to open up lines for the bishop, aiming for a double attack on the pinned bishop, is a strategic move for black. White, realizing the imminent threat, might attempt to activate their pieces by playing d6. However, employing bishop h3 applies double pressure on the pinned piece. Subsequently, if white opts for bishop to e3, they lose their bishop to a check. The king's move to d2 is the only option, yet at this point, white is significantly down in material by 9 points. Furthermore, the trap set by the knight adds to white's complications, making this situation an easy win for black. In this scenario, if white opts to block the check with their bishop instead of the queen, they fall into a mating trap. Black can further intensify the attack by introducing the dark square bishop into the assault. Playing bishop to c5 targets the weak f2 pawn, and sets up a potential checkmate on white's king. Regardless of white's subsequent moves, whether sacrificing their knight, attacking the queen with d3, or challenging the knight with c3, the inevitable outcome is a checkmate for white. Let's explore the continuation. White attempts to sacrifice their knight with knight to f7, but black doesn't waste time capturing the knight. Instead, they launch a fierce attack on the white king with knight to f3, delivering a check. White's king retreats to f1, and black plays the powerful queen to h4, threatening checkmate on f2. White tries to delay their demise with knight to g6 check, but black captures the knight. When white moves their king to g2, black seizes the f2 pawn with a check. If white's king goes to h1, queen takes h2 delivers checkmate. Therefore, white's king moves to h3. Now, capturing the h2 pawn with a check, the white king moves to g4. Black adds another piece to the checkmate attack, knight to f6 check. If the king takes the knight, queen to f2 leads to checkmate. And if the king moves to f5, queen to e5 secures checkmate. Now, it's time for a puzzle. In the given position, it's white's turn, and you need to find the best move for white. Share your answers in the comments, and let's see how many of you can solve it correctly. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with future videos. Take a moment to check out the other videos appearing on your screen right now. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care and peace.